Before we get started with the Nordic tour, I just want to point out, I hope most of you have seen, it's a combination back page program. You can find this downstairs at the registration desk. But inside this brochure includes some research insights that we have been discussing yesterday and today about labor market mismatch, about the green transition from an urban planning and development perspective. And of course, it wouldn't be a Nordregio brochure or fact sheet if it didn't have a lovely map on it. So there's also a fold-out map that you can take home with you. So please do grab one if you haven't grabbed one already. So, like I was saying, the Nordic tour, it's about speaking to inspirational people or places that are working to deal with implementing solutions to some of the issues that we have talked about, whether it is from issues of housing, whether it's issues of migration, whether it's issues of economic development and the labor market mismatch, or whether it's all of these things together from an urban or community perspective, the gender perspective, etc. So I want to start the Nordic tour. We're going to have 4 presentations. I'm going to start by introducing Josefin Carlring, who is the Secretary General at Föreningen Norden since 2020. She has long experience with leading and developing transformative organizations and as an advisor and a consultant, including at her own business, See Beyond Impact, as well as with the Eliasson Group. She is the former Secretary General of the Swedish Postcode Foundation, but today she is going to talk to us about engaging people in sustainability policymaking and societal development, with experiences throughout the Nordics from Sweden, Finland, and Norway. So, welcome, Josefin.
Very much. I'm very glad to be here, and I'm actually going to talk about the democratization of the green transition to talk about our pilot that we've done in the northern part of Norden. And as Ryan said, I'm representing the Norden Association, and we were founded in 1919, so a very long time ago, with the aim to strengthen and deepen Nordic cooperation and integration. And our mission has been since then to integrate our region, but also to establish strong people-to-people bond between people on the local, regional, and national levels all over the Nordic region. But our mission has also been to establish and strengthen dialogue between residents and citizens on one hand, and decision and policymakers on the other hand in the Nordic region. And we were talking all day yesterday and also today about this rapidly changing world that we are all living in. And the civil society is, of course, no exemption to this rapidly changing world. And as in many other associations, our association is facing a shrinking membership base, but also an aging membership base. And this, of course, incites questions about whose perspectives that we are bringing forward to decision makers, but also whose voices we are representing as an organization. Our conviction is that society's most important and biggest resource is active and involved citizens. And that we believe that the current methods on how we involve citizens in decision-making, they need to be developed and also complemented with new methods. And for all these reasons, we have developed over the past year Nordperspektiv. So Nordperspektiv is our new way of working that we have developed with inspiration from design thinking and social innovation methods. And with design thinking, we have used an explorative approach where we have moved back and forwards in a number of different phases. And we have also worked together closely together with other partners and people. And our approach to this work has been that we rather learn from our mistakes along the way than to do everything almost exactly right from the beginning. And our pilot is done on a very, very small scale, and you will see this in my presentation throughout the course of the next minutes. So what have we done? Well, we have developed and piloted a new way of working that consists of 6 phases, and these are then carried out over a period of 12 to 14 months. And we started back in January in 2022. And our first steps over in the first 2 blue dots over there was to identify a theme that we wanted to work on, but also to identify potential stakeholders that were engaged in this theme. And for 2022, we chose to look at the green transition in Northern Norden. And this was in terms of creating attractive communities for the future. And so the chosen theme obviously limited our target group to people in the northern regions of Norden. And it was very important for us to create a bottom-up approach. So we worked very closely together with our local partners and on the ground to try to reach out to schools or workplaces or associations, sports clubs in both Finland, Norway, and Sweden. And we had the call open for about 2 months, and our aim was to encourage as many people as possible to make their voices heard about the green transition. And going back to the design thinking methods that we used, we realized early on that people were not used to this way of participating. So we had to come up with new ideas on how people could participate. And so we had a range of different ways on how to do that. Some not asking for a lot of engagement, and others asking for more engagement. And we received a number of 106 ideas. And I listened to Johanna just in the earlier panel where she had 6,000 ideas. So it's a far way to go, but this is, as we see it, just the first very small step. So we are looking forward to developing this in the coming years. The ideas that came in, we clustered them and had a look at them, and also asked the Nordic jury of that came in with different perspectives from academia, from the public sphere, or also the business sector, to have a look at this and also identify especially interesting ideas from their perspectives. And some of the ideas that came in, they came in all shapes, all different sorts of shapes and forms. And this first one is artwork that came in raising the awareness of the value of water for future life, but for both animals, humans, and the society. Another example that came in was also an artwork about the importance of equality in the workspace, and also to increase the value of traditionally women-dominated workplaces. Also, dreams about the future and about a sustainable future, and also concrete ideas on how to improve the transport solutions in our regions were also ideas that came in. So over this summer, we compiled all the ideas and we clustered them, and we wrote a publication that you can see there. The Nordic minister, the Swedish Nordic Minister of Cooperation, is holding that in her hand. And so we wrote it, and we have then been trying to raise awareness through debate articles or press outreach work, but also one-to-one meetings with politicians on local, regional, and national level. And this is, I'm going to say that this is also being done in all of the 3 Nordic countries. And actually tomorrow we will hold idea labs where we will gather about 20 people that are all very engaged and involved. They are stakeholders, they're youth, they are from the public administration of the employee service in Sweden, and others who are interested in creating solutions for the future for youth and mobility. And also next week we will have an idea lab in Helsinki where we will look at the youth participation. So what have we learned? Well, first and foremost, how important it is to work together. And I was really happy yesterday to hear many of the speakers opening up for doing that. And that is something that we also feel very strongly about. This is not something that we feel that we are solely responsible for. We're all citizens and shaping the future region that we all want to live in. So this is a really important lesson for us, and something that we will want to do also together with you. So I would like to invite you all, especially if you're working or living in one of the border regions of Norden. Our theme, we're obviously not done yet. This was just the first year, so we want to continue this work. And next year, we will work on the future of the border regions of Norden, and we want to move from barriers to opportunities. So we would like to invite you all to participate and do this work together with us. And I'm here all of the days, so please reach out and talk to me. And we're looking very much looking forward to collaborating more with you. Thank you, Ryan. I see that you're coming towards me.
Your timing was perfect.
Oh, good.
I liked very much this perspective that you included about the, I think, 7 different ways of engaging and providing input. We've seen from previous experiences working with engagement and participation that, yes, having more than one way to do it is a very important component for reaching different demographic groups, different types of people, ranging from youth to the elderly. So that was very nice to see. Some of the visuals that you showed, pictures of nature, pristine nature, reflections of the wilderness, if you will. I'm just wondering, based on some of the discussions that we heard about yesterday, of course, the development of specific industries that are conducive to the north, taking advantage of the electricity, of energy, of the cold climate, etc. Did you get any reflections so far that you could feel are maybe embracing the opportunities that could be coming from the north in terms of these conditions and these expectations for growth that we have, for instance, in places like Skellefteå? Note for the next speaker. So do you have any of these reflections that you've experienced from your work so far?
Well, I think that a lot of the ideas that came in were positive to the changes happening, but I think that to experience, I mean, it's going to be fast growth. It's going to happen in 8 or 10 years, and so it's going to change the whole community in the north. So I think people are there. From what we saw, people are positive to the change, but there are also ideas like the equality issue, for example, that I brought up, was that raising the importance of, when you move a lot of industries into a region. We talked about this also yesterday. You're creating a lot of jobs for perhaps male-dominated workspaces, And so you really need to be aware of that. You also want women to work in those workspaces.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about and bring perspectives in to make it long-lasting and sustainable.
I think that this is very important work, especially in the context of what we're going to hear in our next presentation, again, about the development and growth that's taking place in a place like Skellefteå. Crucial to have these types of perspectives and ideas and perspectives of what the Northern Nordic should be and is to people to be bearing in mind when we're undergoing this rapid development. Thanks very much, Josefin.
Thank you so much.